Morning, and how is everybody doing? I wanted to jump on because I have kind of recovered from all my. I left Cretan on last Sunday actually and drove straight home and then went to Portavadie with my kids, my grandkids, and I was really tired. It's not very often. I was like, I can usually go to bed and then recoup my energy, but I was like, I am tired. So yeah, it was. I'm really only now starting to feel refreshed and recuperated, and that's the reality, isn't it, of what happens. We all need to take time out, and so I thought I'm going to jump on and do some letting go, because obviously it is crazy times. We don't know who to believe, what to believe. I spent Saturday with Philip Day, which was incredible, and learning, stuff that I already knew, but he presents it really well and he gives solutions, which I think is what we really need. And what I do know from doing this business coaching course that I'm doing, but also from a health perspective, we need to have strong boundaries. I think out there and in here, it's the reflection, isn't it? And if we don't have strong boundaries with ourselves, I was watching Dr. Sarah Myhill from the Good Food Project Energy Summit last week, and it's the same thing. We need to have very strong boundaries about what we're putting in there, what we're taking in here. And if we don't, chaos, and that's what you're seeing out there. We've kind of dropped all our boundaries in education, in the justice system, and in hospitals, the quality and this is not a blame thing. It's just happened. We thought we were going down a nice trajectory, and now we're in this place where we're at war. What does it mean? Petrol 90 quid to fill the van. I was like, what? Overheads, we're collectively, people are in a state of stress, and it's not a good place for our health. And when we're in a state of stress, that's when we compete with each other and we blame, shame, and complain, and try to shut each other up and wish each other were different, without really having a full conversation and an understanding of where people are coming from, because that's what they want, really, isn't it? They want us, the infighting, instead of going, actually, we the people, it's the government that have made such a balls up of this. And we don't want to be fighting with each other. That's just madness. But unfortunately, it happens. And there's lots of reasons. I think I always teach from the emotional guidance scale, which is all about where are you at emotionally. It depends on what you will see in the subjective as opposed to objective universe. So anyway, I thought I would do it. And also, I'm studying so many things right now. I'm doing a course on the fascia. Absolutely blowing my mind. I brought a lot of it in. I was actually learning it when I was doing my breathwork course, and bringing it to these guys as well, because it's an absolute game changer in how we see the body. So the fascia is this crystalline plasma that holds crystals, which is very key, which makes it piezoelectric, but it's also polymorphic. What does that mean? It means that we've got this communication highway, because as soon as crystals are, if anything hits a crystal, it creates an electrical charge. So if we have these packed crystals, suddenly you're starting to realize why tapping works. Because you're creating it through your electrical meridian system. You're creating this energy through there. And when you use the power of your words and your intention, and you use your yi to change your chi, you suddenly start to realize why tapping is so powerful. But not only that, there is from the back, the bottom of our foot, all the way up the back, attached to here, there's 3 layers of fascia. So you imagine why your posture is so important, and how that flow of energy. And I'm studying with Brooke McPoyle. My God, her stuff is blowing my mind. Because it's all about the body as an instrument of consciousness, and that we can tune the body. And of course, you can do it anyway. There's loads of different ways to do it, as always, and that's what gets confusing. But if you start to see the fascia as this super communication highway between the physical body and the metaphysical body, the energy body, then you can start to understand the importance of this flow of information that travels around us. And, it still always comes back to the same thing. What Dr. Mile was saying is, it used to be, and I know this from my own personal experience, it used to be that you could just juice for a week and you'd feel a lot better. But she's saying all of us have to do all the things now because we're so depleted and poisoned. And lethargy is really, really a major issue. And that's why I'm really excited how we can address the lethargy at this energetic level. And there has to be a bit of mindfulness around that. But first of all, understanding where you are in that emotional scale is critical. And then you'll see when you change how you feel, you'll change what you see. And you'll change your perception, you'll change your energy field, you'll change the flow of the fascia, because it all comes down to the contraction and the expansion of this. And when you're judging, blaming, shaming, and complaining about other people who are simply doing their best and trying to figure out this mess that we're in like everybody else, then you are affecting your fascia. And it's very difficult to be around people like that. But we all are, because everybody's struggling, to get to the surface to try and work out what's going on. Who do you believe? What do you trust? Blah, blah, blah. And the kind of name calling and you're this and you're that. It's so boring now. Like the virtue signaling, it's so boring. It's like, come on, guys, we're smarter than this. We can see the game that is on, the control, the 15-minute cities, the digital ID. If you're not seeing that by now, I don't think you ever will. But anyway, that's not what I came on to bang on about. I came on to bang on about letting go of wanting approval. And I think for those of you who stood fast against the vaccine, you know all about that, the disapproval that we had to go through, and the disconnection and being ostracized and cut off because you saw something that maybe others didn't see, still don't see, maybe still don't believe. That's fine. I totally believe everybody should just be doing whatever they want. In terms of if they want to take the pharmaceutical drugs, that's their prerogative. But what we're understanding now is that there's all these other ways to do it. And of course, my big passion is the letting go. And the open mind and the open heart. And again, going on to my breath work, we talk about this all the time, the open heart. Instead of clamping down, wanting to be right, wanting to bring others down so that you can be right, and just allowing everybody to have their own beliefs and their own voice. Because that's the other thing I was down the rabbit hole with, the power. Getting people to and ah and ooh during their breath works. Because that your voice, your intention is more powerful than any other external healer. You know what's going on in there. And when you start to understand the fascia, the polymorphic nature of the fascia, which is that it can literally change shape. It can be solid and it can be fluid, or it can be fluid, and it can do that very quickly. And what does that mean? If your fascia is tight and hard and non-fluid, you're going to have pain. At the very least, you're going to have stiffness and achiness. So we need to, I'm doing the course and I will teach it to you eventually. I'm doing so many courses right now. But the fascia is oh my God, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. So when we can understand, and according to Brooke, it's a bit like brushing your teeth every day, maintaining the fascia with literally just you can use a brick or a yoga block and a tennis ball. We're not talking about an expensive outlay here to send information through the fascia that tells it you're safe, because it's all about safety. You're safe. So when people attack you, you feel very unsafe. I know that because it happens to me all the time. So, but I know that feeling is all about me, and that gives me more information around how I'm reacting to what people are saying about me. Personal attacks, want to bring me down, call me names. And I know everybody gets it, not just me. So what I wanted to do was just come on and show you how to let go of wanting or needing approval from others, of wanting to be right, because that's a biggie. You want to be right. You want to justify that you know. Do any of us really know what's going on? What the government are up to? I think we've got an idea. They perhaps don't have our greatest, best health interests at heart. And again, going back to Dr. Sarah Myhill, she's saying that, where it's us. We do not, between the food, the pharma and the government, we're a money-making commodity to them. And that can be very difficult for people to believe. I understand that. I never used to know that. But once you do realise that we've got more medicines than we've ever had and we're sicker than we've ever been, it's not working. What we're doing is not working. And this is what we need to be looking at now. It's like, well, so where do we go from here? And, lobbying the government, and I know that my friends in the vaccine injured community are trying, but you're just like, it's so clunky and archaic. Really what we need to do, and the only thing that we can actually fully control, is how we react and respond to the apparent others, and know that we can co-create when we can get to the critical mass, which apparently is about 150,000 of us, which I'm sure that they're there. We just need to bring them all together under one roof. And we're looking at ways to do that when everybody can focus in, because we're energy beings, right? We're magnetic beings that can change our focus and look and imagine, and will send different information into the field. It would be lovely if we were all the same and we were all loving, kind beings, but we're not. And we have to be aware of that. Sometimes you can't love the bad out of somebody. And that's certainly in one generation. We can try and we can start, but we also need to be very mindful that it doesn't always work. So we need to be honest and not just be, in unicorn land. We need to be absolutely honest with ourselves about what is going on. And some of it is not pretty. It's anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. Because I'm here to help you let go. I'm just seeing there's a couple of comments coming in. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Michelle. How you doing? So are you taking things personally? So let's look at that, because as soon as we go, oh, they don't like me, they're judging me, they think I'm a bad person, they think I'm a racist, they think I'm blah, 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 all the stuff, right? Because as a human being, we need to fit into the tribe, don't we? It's difficult not fitting in. But we have to, right now, not fit in. To survive the madness, we have to stand up for our rights. And, we were talking about yesterday about the parking in the West End of Glasgow. It's £5 an hour some places. I mean, it's mental. It's actually cheaper for me to go to Travelodge than to park at my pal's house for the weekend. And I was like, why does everybody just say, no, we're not paying it? The power is with us. Mass non-compliance of the madness. Look what they're doing with the money. I'm off on another tangent. Anyway, let's get to this. Have you been attacked? Have you been attacking others? How does that affect this? Think about this fascia that goes from here all the way down to the governing meridian as well, which are now saying is compacted fascia, but it's all electromagnetic crystalline plasma that works, that when we tap it, we can change it. And also with the fascia and with pain, they now understand you can, if you hold your focus on the pain, and that can be emotional pain, physical pain, spiritual pain, fascia will change form from the inside out, not having a massage from somebody else. The power is in you, and that's what I love. I love the fact the power's inside all of us, but I'm just having to spend a lot of time convincing you all how powerful you are. What is that about? So let's just start tapping. And normally we tap in here and we do focus on the governing meridian, but now that we know that there's this fascia connected to here, this is really important for tapping as well, because now we start to see where this information is being held, and the past is being held, because our bodies are controlling us, because we're holding the past and all the limitations that are there. So just tap with me. Even although I'm experiencing quite challenging times, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Even although I've been attacking the apparent others, or I've been feeling attacked, and even although I really want to be right because I know that I am right and you're wrong, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. And even although it hurts to be criticised and judged unfairly, well, what I feel is unfairly, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. You feel it starting to ease already. And even although it's really challenging times, you just do not know who to believe, what's going to happen, how we can get ourselves out of this mess. I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Okay, Han, see you later. Keep tapping. And even although I want to be right, but even although I don't even know if I really am right, how do I even know what is true anymore in this subjective energy universe? But even although I feel I'm being treated unfairly, and even although people are projecting their stuff onto me and virtue signalling they are much kinder, more loving human than me, even although all of that can and does happen, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Keep tapping, keep breathing, keep releasing. I'm now open to letting go of all wanting approval. I allow my intuition and my heart to open. I am guided by the divine, by source, by the field, whatever you want to be guided by. Allow myself to sink in to the attacks, the rejection, the judgment, and feel what is right for me. I allow my voice to be heard and not silenced. I am releasing all need for approval from the apparent others. I allow myself to discern what is powerful, what is true, what is untrue, what is kind, what is unkind. I allow myself to see the virtue signalling for what it is, and I'm letting go of all need to be right. It's safe for me to let go of all wanting to be right. Keep tapping, keep breathing. Think about that piezoelectric fascia, all that information changing. I allow myself to be at peace and to be at ease, no matter what others are saying about me, or to me, or behind my back. I'm letting go of all need for approval and all wanting to control others. I allow myself to be at peace. I allow myself to find my tribe. It is safe for me to speak. And I am letting go of all complaining, blaming, and shaming. And I'm releasing all need to be right. and I allow my nervous system to calm down and switch off. I am safe. I am guided. I am loved. I am protected. And just take your eyes from one side to the other. And just feel the ease in the body. So if you feel yourself wanting to blame, shame and complain, it's your responsibility to tap that out. Let it go. It doesn't work. If it worked, we'd have peace on earth. It just simply doesn't work. We need to let go of that, bringing others down, trying to shut them up. We just have to tap, because we have to be the peace that we want to see in the world. And as soon as you go into attack, look at the mess. Even look at the whole podcasting system, people bringing each other down and just being absolutely horrible to each other. It doesn't work. It breeds more of that. Our enemy is not each other. It's our governments that we need to be looking at. And we need to be standing up and fighting for our rights and the rights of our children, and particularly our grandchildren, because we have a battle on our hands of evil versus good. And nobody wants to look at the dark, and there is dark. That's how it works, light and dark. So we need to stand up in that light, and we need to stand up for ourselves, for our own bodies. We need to be educated around the choices we're making for ourselves, for our children, for our grandchildren. It's all about choice. And it's so funny, because when we're doing the fasting retreat, there was a plaque that said choose love. Apology, it said choose cheese. So I always think of that now, choose love, not cheese. So yeah, it's challenging times, but together the human spirit is unbelievable. And I truly believe we will stand. It's frustrating sometimes that you can see stuff that other people cannot see and do not see, won't see. But I mean, this is just the way I've been living for the last 5 years, as I know a lot of you have. So there's never been a more important time to take action. Sitting around blaming, shaming and complaining, quite simply, is just going to make us sick. So we need to take action. We need to focus on what we want, which is a fair earth. And part of that might be making painful decisions. I don't know, I'm not a politician, but I do know we need to look at the politicians, because our health has been directly affected by them and their choices. And to be honest, they don't really know anything. It's all this. It's the money. Follow the money. Anyway, keep tapping, keep releasing. Be aware if you're blaming, shaming and complaining and trying to bring others down and trying to shut them up, or if people are trying to do that to you. Just be aware. Welcome all your reaction and let it go. This is an opportunity for freedom in a way, and we are going to need a set of ghoulies, I tell you, to take on what's ahead, and be prepared and have fun doing it. Trust and surrender to the process, but take action. Anyway, have a wonderful Monday. I'm away to get my wee grandson, and I will see you all soon. Ciao.